What is up, guys? Welcome back to Dan's Reviews, and today I'm back for another Walking Dead video for today. This one we're going to be doing 10 things that I hate about The Walking Dead Season 7. Of course, we did one that, of course, 10 things that I like about Season 7. This time, we're going to do the opposite. We're going to go through 10 things I hate about The Walking Dead Season 7. Okay, guys, so this is going to be doing another Walking Dead video for today. Of course, happy June to everybody. Of course, this is the 1st of June today, so I want to say, happy June to everybody. We're officially kind of in, almost kind of in the summertime, like, fully. Now, we're not getting all this crappy weather. We're finally in June. I find, like, once we get to June, things are, like, just fully 100% summer, and, it's really, really awesome. So, of course, for anybody that summer's their favorite time of year, well, it's June now, so, of course, enjoy the weather as much as you can, of course. Of course, it's a bit different this year because, the world events, but still, a happy June to everybody, and, of course, I hope you guys have a great month. And starting off this video, of course, starting off the month with a video about The Walking Dead, of course. I mean, really, why not? This one, of course, is going to be about The Walking Dead Season 7. So, I did my throwback review for Swear, and this was the first thought that popped in my head, and I'm like, you know what, screw it, I'm going to do a video on this week, because a couple weeks back, or maybe even just a week and a half, 2 weeks, I don't know, it's been a little bit, I did a video talking about the 10 things I like about Season 7. We tried to look at things in a positive way. Now it's time to look about The Walking Dead Season 7 in a negative way, the way that a lot of people look at this season. So, we're going to go through 10 things I just don't like about this season. And, I know maybe some people can either back me up on some of these things I'm going to mention in this video, or maybe will disagree with me, and that's totally fine. Either way, I'm cool, and I love to hear your guys' opinions. So, number 10, just going straight into it, number 10, is going to be Season 7 and how depressing it was. So just simply depressing. So putting this at the number 10 spot, having Season 7 just being simply depressing. I just don't think that this season is very... Now, I put this at number 10 because I don't think it's a huge problem, but it is something that's noticeable. It's a very depressing season. It's not very uplifting, and there were only a couple moments that were really that, uplifting. Like this Season 7 finale when Shiva came in, as well as kind of when Daryl hugged Rick at Hilltop and they all kind of became a group again. That I like, but every other moment this season was either depressing or just felt like you were losing or just anything, and I like how they did it, so that's why I'm only going to put it at number 10, is because I like how they played off the depressing, scenes, but at the same time, it's like a little overboard on the depressing in Season 7, just in my personal opinion. Number 9 is going to be the pig storyline. Of course, this is something that came in The Walking Dead Season 7, Episode 2, The Well. Now, I put this at number 9, and some people will be like, the pig storyline, what are you talking about? If you guys don't remember, this is basically when the Kingdom wanted to, poison the Saviors with the pigs. And they would give them the pigs or whatever, they'd be eating the zombies be eating them and stuff like that, and then the Saviors would get sick, basically, off the pigs. And then they completely ignored that storyline. They completely ignored the storyline that never went anywhere, and it literally felt like filler in the end, because the pig storyline, it didn't go anywhere. Nobody died from it, as far as we know, and if somebody did, we didn't see it, so I can't really count that as, anything. And honestly, I just find the pig storyline, looking back on it, to be a little bit filler because we didn't see anything of it later on. But that's just my personal opinion. Number 8 is going to be Rosita and Sasha's plan to kill Negan. So, this was stupid. You can't deny that this was stupid. I try to kind of respect Sasha and Rosita's kind of idea here because they did lose Abraham, and I do know that, they don't want to kind of just sit back and let Negan just kind of, do whatever he's going to do. I get that. They want to kind of take action, but they should have waited like Rick and the others were doing. Plan things out. Really make sure you're ready. Don't just act and then get Sasha killed. I don't know. That's just my personal opinion. I really do miss seeing Sasha in the show, but at the same time, Sasha... You're kind of stupid for going with Rosita and doing that. I think it's more so Rosita, though, that was the stupid one in this instance, because she was the one that even told, Sasha, like, I'm doing this with or without you, so it should be with Sasha. So I don't blame Sasha as much, but at the same time, she did do it just as much as Rosita did. And I just found the whole plan to be stupid, if you ask me. So yeah, number 8, the plan to kill Negan by Rosita and Sasha. Moving on to number 7 is going to be the death of Benjamin. So, this one I know is going to be a little bit shocking for some people, the death of Benjamin being at a number 7 spot, kind of at an in-betweenish type spot. I'm still going to put this at a negative for season 7. Now, the thing is about this, I'm not going to put it too high in the list either, because the thing is about his death is that it was well done, and I liked what they did with Morgan afterwards. But the reason why I put this in the list, and maybe some people disagree, I have 2 reasons for this. One of which, I don't like older Henry in season 9. I think Benjamin was a character that was a fan favorite enough that you could have kept for the Lydia storyline, for all this stuff. Benjamin would have been a perfect character for that. Honestly, I really like Benjamin's character, and even if they didn't do that with him, you know, honestly, Benjamin was just a character I feel like they could have kept a lot longer. He was really kind of turning into a fan favorite. I noticed a lot of people were starting to like his character. And then the other thing is about this, and this is the other big problem with his death, it was predictable. I mean, it was so predictable to see his death like that. As soon as Ezekiel said no to fighting with Rick and the others, the Saviors, in episode 9, Rockin' the Road, I was like, okay, they're going to have somebody close to him die, and then that'll convince him. And I knew right away, I'm like, okay, they're going to kill Benjamin. The real shocking death in that episode, Bury Me Here, was Richard. It was not Benjamin. Benjamin, I mean, they set it up clearly, like the who's the girl stuff, bonding with Morgan. I mean, they had it all. They did all of it, and then, they killed him off in such a way where you knew it was him. As soon as Jared shot at the camera and you didn't even see it was him, I already knew. You're like, yeah, it's him, like, I don't know. I just don't think it turned out that well. I think his death was good for Morgan, but aside from that, it was too predictable. They could have kept him for longer, and I don't know, I disagree, and I think the actor really was enjoying it. I think the actor was really enjoying the role, and I don't know why. I kind of feel bad for him. I feel like they kind of just were starting to flesh out his character, and then they kill him off, and it's like, a little unsatisfied with that, I don't know. Number 6 is going to be Eugene saying I'm Negan. So, Eugene being Stone Cold Negan. So, I don't know. I just don't like Eugene being Negan. I didn't like it in season 8. I didn't like it in season 7. But at the same time, I'm not going to put it too high on the list either. I'm going to put it at number 6 because I understand it. They treated Eugene like crap at Alexandria. They did. Negan looks at Eugene for once. For once, Eugene is looked at as somebody important, to Negan. Rosita, everybody else at Alexandria, even Rick at times, Abraham, they treated him like crap, honestly. They never looked at him as something valuable, even though he always was. Yeah, he's a coward, but he's still useful. Negan saw Eugene as people are a resource. Negan saw Eugene as useful right away. And that's what I love about that, honestly. And I don't know, it just bugs me that Eugene became Negan, but at the same time, I understand it. I understand why he did that. Also to keep himself safe because he's a coward. But I'm still going to put it on the list because I just feel like later on, Eugene took it too far with the I'm Negan stuff. Like, he was, fully, on board with Negan. And I don't know, I just don't like it. And did you guys ever notice, and I want to point this out because I feel like people may have missed this. Here's a hidden clue for you guys. Do you guys remember in Season 8, Episode 11, Dead or Alive, or when Eugene was asking Negan, and Alexandria, what went down there? And Negan's like, do you care? And he's like, do you care, Eugene, right? You remember that? Well, Negan switched roles in Season 9, in the Season 9 finale, in the Winter Storm episode. Negan, when he had his messed up leg after saving Judith out in the storm, Negan was talking with Michonne, and he said the same thing, except Negan played the Eugene role in Season 9, and he asked Michonne, did everybody make it back to Alexandria okay? And Michonne's like, do you care? So I don't know. I just find that really cool. And so, but back to Eugene. I don't know why. I just find that a really cool kind of fact. So if anybody remembers those 2 scenes, you'll know what I'm talking about. Kind of cool how that's almost a subtle way of showing us that Negan's, changed, But, just saying. So anyway, Eugene becoming Negan, I don't know. It's not my thing. But yeah, that's just my opinion. Speaking of becoming Negan, though, number 5 is going to be just the simple, and this one is probably going to be the most shocking spot on the list for you guys. Number 5 is going to be just the simple, I'm Daryl. I hated it. Honestly, I hated it. I know so many people like it because he's faithful to Rick. I could not stand when he said I'm Daryl. Honestly, would you guys imagine, and I'm just going to say this, would you guys imagine if Daryl said I'm Negan? You imagine the exciting storyline we could have gotten of Daryl and Dwight plotting together how to get out of the sanctuary, thinking of ways, maybe secretly talking with Sherry, we're going to plan something, Daryl, Dwight working together, Sherry's being another one that's observing everything Negan is doing, sneaking around, stuff like that. I think that storyline would have been so much more interesting than having to listen to Easy Street for all this time. Honestly, that would have been so cool. Honestly, Daryl saying, "I'm Negan." Seeing how Daryl would get out of that, but also being respected by everybody at the Sanctuary, gold. Honestly, absolutely gold. I understand why Daryl said I'm Daryl, but at the same time, I wish he would have said I'm Negan, because that would have made Season 7 so epic if we didn't have to see Daryl be so weak and trying to figure out a way to get out of the Sanctuary. That would have been the best thing ever. And then when they went to Alexandria and Daryl was a prisoner, you remember, like, Daryl was sent to Alexandria and Rick couldn't talk to Daryl, he couldn't look at him, whatever. Imagine if Daryl was standing there with a big gun or a crossbow or something. Maybe his vest, he takes his vest back from Dwight, and Rick's just like, Daryl is a savior? Think about just how Rick would have felt. I don't know. That would have been so cool. And instead of having him just, grunt and just kind of not saying anything, I don't know. It's not my thing. It's just my personal opinion. I just don't like it very much. But that's just my opinion. Number 4 is going to be just simply Swear. So we did a throwback review for this episode. I'm not going to talk about this too much, but I'm going to put Swear in a number 4 spot. Some people may say this is the worst thing in Season 7. I'm going to put it number 4. I don't like Swear as an episode that much, but I understand it. But at the same time, it's just a Tara episode. It doesn't do that much for the story aside from introduce a community that comes in a little bit later. So that's one thing, but I don't know, I don't find the episode to be that good, and we've talked about that a lot, so I'll kind of keep it moving, but that's going to be at the number 4 spot. Number 3, and I can't stress this enough, is going to be just Jada / the Junkyard Group. Honestly, I love the fight between Rick and Winslow, but everything else when it comes to the Junkyard Group, the way they talk, the way they act, the way they just look at each other, I don't like them. Honestly, I go crazy every time I see them. Tamia, Breon, show Rick up. What? I don't know. I find them I find myself it's such a head scratcher, every time I see them, I don't know how to react. I don't know what to say. I cringe at every scene, every time they talk the way they do, especially the time too when Simon goes to the junkyard before they're all executed, and she's like, the one lady is like, need guns too, instead of we need guns too, she's like, need guns too. It's like, oh my god, talk normally, please. Honestly, help us all here, help us all out here for all of our own sanity, and, talk normally, please. We have to watch you be villains for, literally, I consider them kind of villains-ish, side villains for, an entire season. Talk normally and maybe I'll appreciate you as a villain at least half as much as Negan. But, no. Honestly, I don't know. Not a big fan of them at all. Number 2 is going to be just simply how slow Season 7 was. So, yeah, I know this may be very generic, and it's very kind of a generic type, answer for a number 2 spot. But at the same time, I just found Season 7 to be so slow at unnecessary times. I feel like there could have been so many more exciting storylines they could have done, and I think that the comics did Season 7. What they adapted from the comics was better in the comics than in Season 7. It felt epic in the comics. I don't know. In the comic book series, when we had the March to War storyline, we had the beginning of the Negan storyline, it felt epic. It did, didn't it? When you were reading the comics, All Out War was, gold in the comics. But it was exciting, even when you had, even when you had the March to War storyline in the comic, it was epic. Everything about it was just so good. And in the TV show, I don't know what they did. They completely watered it down. Not as much gore. They had it to be very slow, and, they extended it for too long. I personally think they should have March to War in the first half and All Out War in the second half. I know that sounds very fast-paced and maybe too much, but if you ask me, we should have gotten the New Beginning in Season 8. And then, honestly, think about it. Then we could have seen Rick meet Alpha. So that would have also been just mind-blowing in and of itself. I don't know. That's just my personal opinion. And then by this point, we'd be way into the Commonwealth storyline if they did that. Just that extra little touch, So that's just my opinion. Number 1, the worst thing about The Walking Dead Season 7, I'm sure you guys are all going to agree with this one, the bottle episodes. I mean, honestly, you had an entire episode at the Kingdom, you had an entire episode at the Sanctuary, an entire episode at the Hilltop, an entire episode at Alexandria, an entire episode at the Oceanside. They were all so sectioned off, and not only that, focused on some characters that people hate, like Gregory led almost kind of an episode, like Go-Getters. You had Dwight leading an episode, you had Ezekiel, who was brand new at the time, leading an episode. Tara leading an episode at Oceanside. Like, I don't know. I just, I don't think they should have done it, and I think that's really the things that not only the season 7 premiere and the gore, but then seeing all these bottle episodes is what really made the ratings just go down and down and down, and the ratings just get worse and worse and worse. That's just my personal opinion. So, is that your least favorite thing about season 7, the bottle episodes? I want to hear that in the comment section below, guys. Of course, if you're new here, click the subscribe button so you don't miss any of my Walking Dead videos. Follow Dan's Walking Dead reviews on Instagram, guys, and of course, I'll see you guys really soon for another Walking Dead video. Enjoy the rest of your day, guys, and peace out.
Anybody out there?